Alright, we're watching WhiteMajik, who's been playing Rammatra. This is on New York City, and it is Diamond 5 on PC. As Rammatra, my existential dilemma is trying to figure out if, when to peel against Diva Dives. I'm also adjusting to the new Season 9 game because I believe I'm making mistakes trying to challenge DPS supports too hard and should be poking more versus committing. That's why peeling for dive seems to be a big question now. Also not sure if I got good value out of my ult here. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at this game. I've already watched this one. I think the overall theme here is I would say that you're generally just kind of sloppy, right? Like compared to high diamond like masters. Everything you do is just like a little wonky. It's like I see the why you're doing all the things that you're doing. They're just not always correct, and you're not getting as much value as you could for a variety of different reasons. And we're gonna go over every single example. On the diva dive situation in general, I think that if the diva is not making a mistake, you should pretty much never be trying to peel her. Okay, Diva is one of the tankiest heroes in the game. If not, I think she's actually the tankiest hero in the game. Right, she has 725 health, but like half of that is armor, so she effectively has what, like another 150 effective health. So you're looking at like 950, 975 ish like effective health. She's like unbelievably tanky in addition to the fact that she can matrix for 3 seconds. So she's not going to get demacked unless she makes a mistake. So if I see like a half health diva diving in, or a diva diving around a corner where her supports can't get to her, or whatever it is, yeah, go ahead and demack her. But generally speaking, the diva is not going to do something that's going to result in her being demacked because that's throwing. So when the diva dives your team, I think your default policy should be how do I zone the rest of her team, right? Zone/pressure the rest of her team. And if the rest of her team is too far away for you to zone or pressure, then go after the diva because then you have no choice, right? But that usually means the diva's making a mistake because if she's diving your team, 40 meters away from her team, she's going to get demacked. Like there's no way for her to survive in that situation. So generally speaking, she's going to be diving with her team. This is especially true as you climb higher and higher ranks. The enemy tank will make fewer and fewer mistakes, so it'll be harder and harder to punish the tank compared to the rest of the team, which you're very, very good at. That's kind of the opening note on peeling. A. B is you don't do a lot of damage. Like against tanks, most tanks do almost negligible amounts of damage to other tanks, okay? With punches, you do 100 DPS. As Diva, I don't care. What, you're gonna demack me in 9 seconds? Who cares? Like it's not gonna make a meaningful difference, right? With staff, I do 120 damage a second, which is barely any better unless you're hitting me in the head, right? If you're hitting me in the head, like if I'm facing you, that's scary because I can go up to 240 and Diva's got a large head hitbox, so Diva needs to respect that. But generally speaking, your punches are going to stop you from killing your teammate, right? Like if I'm dying a teammate, they're going to be dead within 2 seconds. Your punches or staff from behind or the side is not going to do anything to stop me from getting a kill and then matrixing and escaping. So, yeah, note, you just don't do a lot of damage. C, right? Third point against Diva is your benefit of playing against Diva is that you win neutral. Okay? If you're both at standoff range, your sustain is so much better than hers. Your sustain and poke is so much. You do more damage to her, you take less damage to her, you have better damage mitigation than her, right? She has 3 seconds of DM and then that's it. Right? Once that's over, she literally has no choice but to either leave or get demacked. Those are only or fight you, like brawl you and try to kill you, which is almost like 0 chance of that happening. So your perspective should be, look, I want to constantly stay at poke damage against Diva to try to demech her and force her into either A, giving up the angle, or B, diving my team, at which point then I can go and zone/pressure the rest of her team, right? That's something really important to understand when you play every single tank matchup is who wins in neutral, right? Like if you're here, right, neutral is typically something that looks like this, okay? So if you're here, right, here's tank number 1, right, and then here's the opposing tank, who wins this? And it depends on what the matchups are, right? Like if you're Winston in the situation, right, and you're Winston facing off against an Orisa, the Orisa's going to win because Winston does no damage at range, right? Your right click does 30 damage per second if you charge it perfectly, right? So Orisa comparatively does like 130 damage a second. Obviously, it's not going to hit every shot, but against Winston's going to hit most of the shots. So the Orisa's going to win. So you have to dive, right? Like if it was Winston, you have no choice but to dive. Okay? Similar thing for like Orisa versus Doom. Well, the Doom does no damage at range, so the Orisa's just going to win unless the Doom dives. So understanding, look, if I'm the Orisa in this situation playing against Doom, I don't need to go to the Doom. Literally just playing at range means that I am winning this fight by default. right? The Doom has to make a play in order to not lose the fight. And once he makes a play, then I can pressure him, and then I can javelin him at a block, and then use that to try to win the fight from there. So again, understanding the tank matchups and understanding who wins in neutral is really, really important. All right, so let's watch this go. Start up. Okay. So we're looking for the enemy team. I hear the soldier right now. So right now, I throw Vortex right away. This soldier is grossly out of position, right? Like, there's no reason for the soldier to be here. This soldier should die right now. You Vortex, you use Staff, you use Nemesis if he gets out of your range, right? And then he dies. There is no world where this soldier should get away. This is a good example where you just need to be quicker, right? Right here, you see it, throw Vortex. What's he going to do, right? You throw Vortex to his right. If he goes to the right, he gets caught in the Vortex and dies. If he goes to the left, where's he going to go, right? There's no other way, right? You throw Vortex here. If he goes to the left, I immediately pop Nemesis. I run this way, and I cut him off. Because if your Vortex looks like this, okay, and he decides to go this way, fine. At that point, I take this straight line, cut him off, right, and then kill him with Nemesis. Either I kill him or I get him super low, and he's out of the fight anyway. Either way, he's out of the fight, right? This is like an easy pick right now that you should get. But unfortunately, the soldier ends up getting away. Now, let's talk about your ability usage. As a reminder, for Rammatra's gameplay loop, I was thinking about this last night as to how to draw this, because I think writing it's actually harder. Let's think about Rammatra gameplay loop, okay? So you use your staff, then you use your shield, okay? Then you use Nemesis form. I don't know, how do I draw a fist here? Does that look like a fist? We'll say that looks like a fist. Okay, that looks like a fist, right? Then you go back to staff, right? Then you go back to shield, and so forth, okay? That's the gameplay loop. We're looking for all of these steps over and over and over again. And that is how we apply the gameplay loop of Rammatra, and we apply pressure, right? Because it's really hard. Staff does a lot of damage, right? Then when they're like, oh, we got to stop the Rammatra from doing damage, then you pop your shield, okay? Then, okay, they're like, all right, let's wait out the shield and let's kill the Rammatra, because, you know, you're relatively vulnerable in staff form. Let's kill Rammatra after shield happens. Then you pop block, right? So now that you're, or pop Nemesis form. Now in Nemesis form, I'm even tankier, and I can punch through stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, fine, let's try to maybe kill him, maybe cut it out. They try to kill you, you hold block. They don't try to kill you, you keep punching them. Then they're like, okay, Nemesis form's over. Now let's try to kill him in staff form. Well, sometimes they're not ready, so you can keep using staff, but if they do try to push you, you pop shield again, right? And then you just keep doing that. And that's how you be incredibly annoying in Rammatra, right? Rammatra's one of my best tanks, if not my best tank, and it is extremely frustrating for enemy heroes to play against me as Rammatra because I do not die. Like, I never die unless I choose to die as Rammatra. That's important, right? That's important for all tanks. You should not die unless you choose to die. And that seems like crazy, but like, as you get better at the game, you start understanding, like, will I or won't I die in this situation? Now, to be fair, sometimes you do, quote unquote, like, choose to die because I have to apply pressure in some way. Like, it's Winston. Like, there's situations where, like, oh, do I really want to jump right now? I don't want to jump in right now, but I have to jump because the point's about the cap, and I understand that I'm taking a huge risk here and I might die, but I have no other choice, right? Sometimes you get boxed into a corner here. But if I'm like, look, Winston, I'm like, look, I don't really want to die here, then I could just choose not to die. It's not helping me win the game, but I know when something I'm about to do is going to make it likely for me to die. Rammatra is extremely good at staying alive, right? As long as you go through this core gameplay loop over and over again. So, let's think about this. We have the soldier who's running away, and we have a diva who's DMing here, which is a good call to save the soldier. What should we be doing right now? Well, our options are either staff or shield. We definitely shouldn't be popping Nemesis form, right? Because the fight has just started. We don't want to be popping Nemesis form this early. Like, we have the option, we have a full ammo on our staff, or half ammo on our staff, right? We still have shield, right? Ignore the fact that shield's going to get popped in a second. But we have staff ammo, we have shield. So what do we do right now? I just reload, right? Because what am I going to do right now? The staff doesn't do any damage because she's DMing. The soldier's not going to die right now, and I don't need to use shield because no one is shooting at me. The soldier is literally running away with no health, and the diva's DMing. Even if the diva wasn't DMing right now, diva does no damage at this range. And I have a video that demonstrates this. How much damage do you think that diva does at this range? So for perspective, right, diva does 144 damage per second, right? So 144 is at point blank, okay? So this right here is basically like 144 damage, right? So question, let's do this. from here, how much damage is D.Va going to do on average to Rammatra? I would say you're looking at something like 90 damage per second at this distance. Okay? How much damage are you looking at here? I would say probably, I think 70 is probably generous. I think it's probably 60 damage per second. How much damage are you doing here? At this point, you're probably doing like 40 DPS. And at this distance, you're doing like 20 DPS. So, even if the D.Va is not DMing here, and there's no soldier here, so I don't have to worry about trying to kill him or whatever, the D.Va does no damage right now at this range. Like, that's like one of the biggest things I need to illustrate. And again, this is why I have like a separate like video. You could also search it. You can probably search like damage fall off adder on YouTube, and you're gonna see it, because I have no fear of the D.Va at this range. Like, I 100% trade way better than she does, because D.Va has massive damage fall off and spread on her cannons. So she's crazy dangerous up here, where she will beat me, but at this range, no problem. I'm literally going to do 5 times plus the damage that she's going to do. In which case, me standing here is literally a winning scenario just by staffing her. I'm going to force the D.Va to make a mistake. Think of it as if you ever play like real-time strategy games, okay? So imagine that, my army versus your army, in a 1v1 game. If my army has artillery and your like long-range, hard-hitting, weapons, and your army does not, because you have close-range or medium-range weapons, I'm not going to come to you. I'm just going to shoot you with my artillery and force you to come to me. Because the longer I'm shooting with artillery, I burn down your resources, like your units or whatever it is, your health, and then by the time you get to me, then I've reduced a lot of the advantage you're going to have from having a closer range to army. The same deal applies here in Rammatra versus D.Va, which is, I don't need to get closer to you. I literally just spam you with my staff and force you to make a move. If you don't make a move, I will win this fight by default. Like, literally, I will never need to use Nemesis form here, because my staff alone will win the fight. I guarantee you, the D.Va player will have to do something in order to make up for the fact that she loses in neutral. Right? That's like the big point I'm trying to illustrate right now. So, overall lesson here is the D.Va is not a threat right now. Just not even the fact that she's DMing, the D.Va is not a threat right now. There's no reason to pop shield. But we pop the shield. Now, you could say, oh, well, I'm popping it for my Tracer. Your Tracer should not die here. If you're Tracer, I would never pop shield to save Tracer here. There's no reason the Tracer should die in this situation, right? She should have multiple blinks, right? She should have rewind in the situation, though she's popped rewind for some bizarre reason. Like, what the heck was this rewind at full health? Is truly bizarre. But like, it is what it is, right? I'll take the odds. Usually, Tracer's not going to die here, so I'm not going to throw a shield here to try to save the Tracer. For the record, she still has multiple blinks. She's not in danger at all. So, I would not pop shield here. Okay, so we've already established that all I would do here is just reload and then just keep using staff. I wouldn't try to close the distance. I don't need to close the distance. Again, I win at range. By getting close to the D.Va, she gets more and more dangerous. And D.Va plus cannons plus missiles at close range do 215 damage a second. That is way more damage than me. It's over. Even if I was hitting every single headshot with my staff, she still does about the same amount of damage. And it's way harder for me to land that same amount of headshots, and she can headshot me with her cannons. So, really, really bad for me to get closer to her as a general rule. But right now, we've decided not to maintain our range, and we've decided to use shield unnecessarily, because, again, no one was actually shooting at us when we threw up the shield, and shield only lasts 4 seconds. And now we're popping Nemesis. But why are we popping Nemesis right now? Is it because we're like, oh, let's get some punches on the D.Va? The punches in on the D.Va are going to mean absolutely nothing, right? She has 2 supports here. Moira heals for, what, like 80-ish health a second, 85 health a second, without orb, right? Kiriko heals for like 75 health a second. Between the two of them, they're going to heal well over 160 health per second right now on this D.Va, and the D.Va is the only person who needs healing, right? The soldier's going to get healed automatically by the Moira spray. Your damage on the D.Va means nothing right now. I'm not committing any cooldowns to try to like disrupt this D.Va because it's not the right time. Patience and timing is everything in Overwatch, right? Especially as playing tank. You have to understand, what do I need to do right now? Your team doesn't need you to punch the D.Va. Your team just needs you to spam the D.Va down and then get ready for what the D.Va does. If the D.Va, for example, flies up and over and tries to come in your team, then I pop Nemesis and I run to the opposing team. But if I don't have Nemesis, I'm suddenly in massive trouble because I have no ability to pressure the opposing team because I'm very squishy in staff form if I don't have shield, right? Which goes back to gameplay loop. You use staff, then you use shield, right? Then you wait out the shield, then you go Nemesis form if you need it. Now, why do you wait out the shield? Because the way the cooldowns work for shield is if you pop shield, wait for it to finish, then pop nemesis, by the time you finish your nemesis form, shield will be up or you'll have about 1 second to go. That way, as soon as you come out nemesis and you're vulnerable again, you can put up shield right away and save your life. But if you pop nemesis while shield is still up, you won't have shield when you come out of nemesis. And we're going to see that happen in this clip, right? Which is very dangerous. Now, I'm not going to say you never do this. I would say I still do it 20-ish% of the time, because sometimes it still is the right call, and I know that, look, I can just win the fight right now. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen 8 seconds from now. I'm going to win it right now, or I'm going to lose it right now, and I have to pop nemesis or I'm still going to die, or whatever ends up being the case. I'm not going to say never do it, but in this situation, with no other sources of pressure, I would not pop nemesis right now. I'm pretty sure why you're popping nemesis is because you're trying to pressure the diva through matrix. She can't hold matrix for very long, right? She's already halfway done. A second and a half, and this is going to be all over. You don't need to pressure. It's like not necessary right now. And notice what damage you're doing. The diva's missing what, 25 health right now? Like, this is irrelevant. And that's what I'm saying is now I popped nemesis, and now what? And you see now you're like, oh shoot, and you're playing back behind the shield, and now you have 7 seconds to go in your nemesis, but you can't do anything. Right? You see, you cancel it early. Was nemesis worth like 3 punches that did no like lasting damage against the diva? I don't think so. So again, very problematic, right? All the things here are just kind of sloppy here. I would also note here is your Ana's going to go crazy and she's going to go up and try to get a big grenade. And she actually lands a big grenade, right? She sees Suzu go off, she sees Matrix down, so she lands actually a big grenade, but then she tries to walk back in the open and get killed. But this is a good example of a time where if you had shield, you could shield up for the Ana, right, and just keep poking them down, but you're going to lose your Ana here, right? Again, using abilities like wantonly, like without value, means you don't have them when you actually need them. So I don't think that I even go nemesis here, because let's think for a second. First of all, the diva has no matrix, right? She's got we've seen her using matrix the whole time. She has like basically no matrix, so she can't like eat all the staff. A. B. If I want to de-mech a diva, the fastest way of doing so is with staff, because staff does 120 damage per second and can go up to 240. But nemesis only does 100 damage a second. The diva's never going to get de-mech from punches, right? I have to use a staff here if she doesn't have if she has 50 health, right? And she's DMing, yeah, obviously go nemesis and pop her, right? But that's typically not what's happening here. This is a fairly healthy diva who has supports and LOS. You're not demeching her, right? And if you are going to even try to demech her, it's going to be with a staff, all right? I think it's fine in the situation. Honestly, just use staff and just poke down the backline right now. But if you all do want to do this, I would do this with staff first, right? Then try to follow the diva out and then see if you need to use nemesis from there. I would also note losing so you traded your support for an enemy DPS. That usually means you're stronger in the short term and worse in the long term, because you have less sustain, but you have more damage than the opposing team. So I would be trying to pressure the opposing team right now versus trying to do it, right? They still have double supports right now. The diva's not going to get demeched. So, right, we're going to finish this. You put down shield, right? So your team caps. Okay, fine. So at this moment in time, like I can't really do a whole lot at this moment in time. So I think just trying to, again, pressure backline, shoot the diva, whatever happens. Like your team just capped, so that's fine. Right? Again, you're down your Ana, but they're down their Bastion. So diva goes in. So now I walk forwards, because if I walk forwards on the Moira right now, she has to fade. Right? The Moira has to fade if I just run at her right now with staff. Then I can use nemesis if I need to go get the kill. But you see how you're backing away? Let's think about this. So diva went past you, right? As already established, you have no ability to stop this diva. Like, this diva's going to try to kill your Mercy, for example. You can't stop that. There's nothing you can do, right? If you had Vortex here, and you use Vortex to slow her down, you could save her. If you had Shield, maybe you could save her, but it's not consistent. So, this diva's already out of sight, right? Out of sight, out of mind, nothing I can do about this. My goal right now is to try to trade out for the opposing supports. Why are you backing up against a Moira and a Kiriko? See how you're reversing right now? This is the wrong move. Just go forward. You're basically fully healthy right now. You're going to have Nemesis in 2 seconds. You're totally fine. Just go after the supports. Force both of them to either teleport or fade to the diva, or to go backwards and abandon the diva. That is your winning case scenario in this situation. Right? Backing up right now is 100% a mistake. So, you go all the way back here, which is a mistake. You punch the diva a little bit. From here, what do? Let's think. Option 1, I go for the diva, who is basically full health, and again, there are 2 supports here. And the diva has cover, so my team's not going to be able to shoot him in a second. Option 2, I go for the Moira who's injured. Why am I attacking the tank here? Just attack the Moira. Like, force fade. Forcing defensive cooldowns is critical because at higher ranks, no one ever dies when they have a defensive cooldown. When I say no, I mean literally like 95% of the time, somebody will not die unless their defensive cooldown is forced first, right? Whether that be like dash, fade, Suzu, grenade, lamp, whatever, no one dies unless you force out the defensive cooldown. So you forcing out fade here means your DPS or support or whomever can get a kill. But if you don't force that out, she never dies. The Moira will literally never die. You need to go after the supports here when it's possible. So again, one thing I want to illustrate here is, right, supports are here, tank is here. If you're in this situation, okay, just shoot the tank. Because you can't get past the tank. Like, assuming the tank is reasonably... Like, if it's a Winston, you can walk past them, because Winston does no damage, right? But, like, any of the brawlier tanks, like Orisa, Reinhardt, Junker Queen, Diva, if she's playing Brawl, as she is in this situation, you can't run past her, and you're going to make this mistake later, because you're going to get melted. But, if the tank decides to go to your side, like this, where she's on your side doing, you know, whatever, then what you need to do is you need to advance against the backline, right? Again, it depends on some various factors, right? If the backline is all the way over here, right? If the backline's over here and you are like 40 meters away, then forget about it. Like that, you're not going to do that, right? Then go for the tank. But generally speaking, that's not going to be what happens, and you have an opportunity to go after the backline. That's probably one of the biggest tips I can give you in this situation, is you need to go after the backline more. Because I'm sure you can feel how useless your damage is against the Diva, right? The Diva's nowhere close to getting demeched. If she was, you would continue this attack. But you can tell already, you're like, wait, this isn't getting the value I need, right? The Diva is the one controlling the corner and holding you back and holding space. You're the one who's losing to the Diva, despite the fact that you've had full health like the whole time. It's not like you're taking a ton of damage. Like, we can talk, Season 9 is really hard for playing tank, there's so much damage, not enough healing, blah, blah, blah. You're healthy the whole time. You're just scared. Right, you're like, oh god, like I'm scared of like a Moira leeching me right now when I have Nemesis form. Just walk forwards, right? Like, there's no way. Moira does 50 damage a second. She functionally does 0 damage to a tank. Just walk forwards on the Moira, and she's gonna have to fade. Then she fades out, and then you're like, okay, go for the Kiriko or go for the Moira after she fades. If she fades forward, kill her. If she fades backwards, keep applying pressure to the backline. That's what your team needs you to do right now. All right. So we go over here. You cancel Nemesis form early. This is a good example of like how your Nemesis forms are getting so little value. I almost never cancel my Nemesis form early. I'd say almost never. I would say, assuming enemies within range, I'm basically never canceling my Nemesis form early, right? Because why would I? I went Nemesis for a reason, to either survive or to apply consistent damage, so I'm going to keep doing that. But because you keep using, like the first Nemesis form, you cancel it after like 1 second, right? Like, it was actually crazy how quickly you canceled it. You're doing this because your Nemesis forms keep showing up at the wrong times. You realize, oh, hey, I actually want to go for the backline right now. Now I'm too far away, so I cancel Nemesis, so I go back to shooting them. But this is silly. You know? Like, you need to be able to apply pressure. You should have had Nemesis form in the backline, killing their supports. That would give you way more value. So this shield, I can already tell, is not going to be able to do anything at this point in time because the Bastion's already backing out. You can tell from the body language of your Bastion that this is over, right? You hopefully should also be tracking it, but Bastion Assault form is about to end right now, right? You see, he's less than 1 second. He's already backing out, in which case this shield's not useful. He can't use it to turn the corner. So, yeah, this is already it. This shield's not going to get anything done. Speaking of abilities, I'm getting done. What is this vortex? Right? Here's the shield. Okay, I understand the shield. I don't think it's a good shield. In fact, I think it's a very bad shield. But I understand the shield. Why am I throwing the vortex down there? The only thing I can think of is you were afraid the soldier was going to run up to the ramp and try to take it. In which case, throw it when he does it, not before he does it. Don't throw abilities off cooldown for no reason. Every ability you use must have a purpose. How does this ability help me win the game right now? Right? Win the fight right now? That vortex gives you nothing. Right? Saving the vortex gives you more value. As a side note, right? If the Diva's just going to hold Matrix here, just shoot anybody else. Like, for example, the Kiriko. Like, you have to recognize, look, there have to be people here who are vulnerable. I only see 3 people on point. The Kiriko's on the left, the Bastion's respawning. Just go after the Kiriko. What's the Kiriko going to do? She's going to escape. She's going to switch up to the point. And you might think, oh man, I didn't get a kill. But that's fine. Because what's going to end up happening here is if you force everyone onto the point, right? 1, 2, 3, and then the Kiriko here. Then your team takes all the spots, right? Forget that one, right? All the spots around the point, and then you all end up shooting at them, and they die because they have no cover. That's the way Overwatch works when you can't mechanically diff the opposing team. You take space, you take angles, until eventually they crumble. Because no team can sit in a fishbowl here, right? Getting shot at from 3 different sides. The odds of you winning that fight are like 85, 90%, right? The odds of you winning are so high because they just have nowhere to go. That's the concept of taking space. Don't think, oh, I gotta run down here and beat everybody up right now, because that's not gonna happen. They have way too much sustain, they're way too brawly. Just go up to the Kiriko, force the low ground, you hear the Bastion, okay, let's kill the Bastion first. Now it's 5-on-4, we take all the spots, and they lose. Right? Be very methodical about the way that you win and take fights. So, once again, I got the staff here, I'm reloading, I have a full staff, I finished the staff. Why am I popping Nemesis right now? Is it to hit the D.Va? Because as we established, hitting the D.Va gives you so little value, right? The D.Va is just not going to die. Again, Moira can keep the D.Va up forever. Frankly, I think healing orb alone might be enough to totally cancel out the vast majority of your damage. So, like, this is just not good value. Again, focus on clearing the top high ground over here, right? I can also try to burn down D.Va Matrix at times, right, by using staff, but then clear out the high ground, take all the angles, and then they lose. That's the easiest case scenario. Again, do not attack the D.Va here. So, option 1, I can go after the D.Va. Option 2, I can go after these 2 targets right now. The extremely low health Kiriko, which, as your team correctly did, they pressured her and forced Swift Step onto the point, or I could go after the Moira. Either of these targets are way better than this target, the full health D.Va, who's up in the air trying to go after your Bastion. You can't do anything about D.Va anymore. Just kill the supports. You also would hear the Swift Step, by the way, right? One of the things is, like, I think your general battlefield awareness is just not there compared to, because, like, we're trying to get you Masters, right? Like, a Masters player would hear the Swift Step in and immediately go after the Kiriko, right? I would hear it and be like, yep, she dies now. Because right away, as soon as I hear it, like, there's no survival scenario for her in this situation. She can't escape. Right? Unless she, like, climbs up the crate. I don't even know how it works curved. But, like, unless she's able to climb up out of here, like, she's dead right now. And you need to recognize that, and you need to target the tank less. Way less. Again, no, like, just watch the feel here. Okay? Does it feel like I am winning this fight? Wait, did you just cancel it early again? Yeah, you still have 7, 6, right? You've 5 seconds right now. Like, you could hit the Moira right now. Why did you cancel? I have no idea why you canceled this one, because the DM is even active right now, and she's in your face. Why are you canceling? Stop canceling Nemesis early. Like, as a general rule, like, canceling Nemesis early is definitely a technique you should know, but you cancel it early, like, virtually every single Nemesis form. Like, this one was the most egregious of them all. I have literally no idea why you canceled Nemesis. This is actually a good time to have Nemesis to be able to punch the Moira out and force Fade. Yeah, this is really bad. Okay, so now we're spamming, right? But again, is anybody low? Is anybody getting pushed back? Is anybody afraid of me? These are all basic things that you need to be able to do as a tank, and none of them are happening, right? The opposing team has zero fear of you because you're not using your abilities well, and you're not targeting the backline, right? You're not trading effectively. Like, you're not using your health, right, to, like, apply pressure, and so your DPS are getting left out on islands and getting poked down, right? Your DPS are dying because you're doing nothing. Like, if I was playing DPS in the game, I'd be frustrated because you're getting a lot of help, right? Your supports are keeping you alive. You have plenty of health. If you have, like, 200 health, fine. Whatever, like, you can't do very much, right? But if you're constantly, like, 90% plus health and not pushing forwards, what is the DPS going to do on your team? They have no space, right? So, this is what's really killing you in this situation. As a reminder, when you use staff, always point at head level, okay? So when you turn here, what you're looking for is a left-right crosshair that goes like that. That's what you want, right? Left, right, at head level. Now, this requires aim and precision, but again, if you want to get better, especially at Rammatra, you got to be able to do this, right? This is like a fairly straightforward aiming exercise. Like, can you draw a straight line, right? Without wiggling, right? So, like, if you're super bad, like, you'll have something like that looks like that, right? But ideally, you want a straight line, right, left to right. So being able to do that, I've actually used to practice that for, like, previous shooters and things like that, where you, like, need to track. But again, being able to draw a straight line left to right is very, very important. So, once again, we're backing out here. Okay. Why are we popping Nemesis? Like, yeah, I got the 215 health, but I'm like already in cover. I'm not in danger. I don't know why I'm popping Nemesis right now. But, okay, fine. I mean, we can get some damage in here. So, not a lot. Okay. Again, with the shield, right? You're thinking, you're already you're like autopiloting. You're like, look, start every fight, I put shield down. I look at it and be like, is anyone actually shooting at me? If not, then I'm not going to put shield, right? I'm going to peek this corner and look, hey, look, they're all running away because it's really hard for them to sit in this room and they're all purple. Why would I throw a shield? I don't need a shield right now. Also, for the record, if you have Nemesis, you get a pick right now. 2 punches or 3 punches to the soldier dies because he's purple. That's a good example of like, look, if I had Nemesis available, I can make a play. But I don't have Nemesis available because I wasted it for nothing, for literally nothing. You were not even in danger of dying. Now I use shield. I've wasted shield for nothing. This stuff kills you. Right? Like, it's the difference in value between you and a better Rammatra is like a huge gulf right now because you're just constantly wasting your abilities. Alright, I hear so for the record, you hear the Bastion the whole time. Like, I can hear the Bastion rotating out of my right ear. I can hear the Bastion on my right ear, so I know he's looping around this way, and I just run over and I kill him. Like, you see him, too. Like, you know he's there. At this point, I just run to the right. I come over here. He goes this. I pop shield in front of me, and then he dies. Even if he tries walking through the shield, he dies. There's no way. He can't get saved by any of the supports right now. He's dead at this moment in time. If there's any risk, I pop Nemesis for him and hold block, and my team kills him. I mean, you should have known the Bastion was rotating right now. You threw Vortex here, which I think is fine. I think that's actually probably the best Vortex you've thrown yet. Now I just pressure him down, right? I don't even need to take cover. He dies. So he does 360 damage a second, but my whole team is there to help me out. So I want to get in front of the Bastion, because I want the Bastion to be shooting me, not my teammates. So I want to walk in front of them, eat all the shots, right? Hit him with a staff. As I get, like, let's say to half health, then I pop Nemesis for him, and if he's low enough, I just punch and kill him. If not, I hold block and he dies. Right? Like, you're playing way too selfishly right now, considering the fact that Bastion just flanked and is shooting your Ana right now. Who would you rather Bastion be shooting, your Ana or you? You! Your Ana can heal you. You can't heal your Ana. Just walk in front. Right? Now your Ana dies, and again, like, this stuff is continually killing you. You're just not doing your job as a tank, pushing forward when you need to push forward. Like, there are obvious opportunities, to me, all right, obviously it's not to you, obvious opportunities here where the enemy team is making mistakes. This is not a good flank. Like, yeah, the Bastion gets a kill here. This is suicide. This Bastion should have gotten 0 kills and died, and you should have rolled that into an easy team fight win. Okay? But you need to see that and hear that and know what's going on and know what to do. All the things need to come together here and realize, look, I'm not scared of this Bastion. I got 2 supports here. I got my team. Like, this Bastion dies. Right? The Bastion's completely isolated from his team. Now he tries to chase him down. Kiriko's here. You go for the Kiriko. This punching is excellent, though. Aim here is excellent, right? I think you went 3 for 4 there, which is really good. So now, once again, what's my plan? Okay, Kiriko's out. So I've lost my Ana. So what? I pressure the Bastion here, or I pressure the Mortar, or maybe the Soldier. Like, somebody here with staff. But I'm probably going to be walking forwards because I have full health. And my Bastion's in assault form. So walk forwards. But what do? I'm staying at this corner, like, super scared. You're at full health and you're pocketed by a Mercy. What are you doing? Like, there's no tank here. There's no Bastion assault form. There's a support that one of the DPS isn't even looking. Neither of the DPS are looking at you. If you don't push in when there are 3 enemies relatively close to you, none of whom are looking at you, and they don't have their most critical cooldown, which is Bastion assault form, when are you planning on pushing in? Like, at this point in time, I feel like the only time you're going to push in is if there's 5 enemies, all 1 punch away from death, all facing away from you. Like, there's too much passiveness, right? Or potentially cowardice on your part. You're so scared to put, like, just push. You have to push. Like, the diva is, like, in your team killing your Mercy right now, and you're still just like, oh man, I'm just gonna spam from here. No problem. And then you throw up a shield. There's literally nobody looking at you right now, right? There is no one looking at you, and you threw up the shield. For what? What reason are we throwing the shield up? Like, this stuff is absolutely, like, murdering your value here because you just don't do anything. Like, I could get so much more value from you even if I didn't have Vortex and I didn't have shield. Even if you took away those 2 abilities from you, I would still get more value from you because I would simply know when to pressure and when to not pressure. Right? And you're not getting a lot of value out of your vortexes or shields anyway. So, back to Rammatra 101. If you haven't seen my Rammatra guide, I recommend you watch my Rammatra guide because I think a lot of the stuff I'm talking about here is talked about in that video, and you can see playing through what more optimal play is going to look like. So in this situation, again, I'm not shooting the D.Va. The D.Va is not going to die. I know it looks like the D.Va's going to die. The D.Va's not going to die, okay? She has 2 supports here. I haven't seen Suzu used. I haven't seen Orb used, right? The D.Va presumably has Matrix and she has, like, boosters. She's not going to die. Literally, the D.Va will only die here if she chooses to die. So, with that in mind, I go after the backline. Go after the Moira. Force Fade. As soon as I force out the Fade, that drops 85 plus healing per second away from the D.Va, and the D.Va has to go back. Then I go after these 2, especially because I have ultimate. So, A, go after the backline. B, when you use Annihilation, don't use it first out of staff form. I think that's one of the best possible tips that I can give you. And if you played Rammatra when he first released, you'd understand that very intimately because of the way that he didn't get the armor reset back then when you switched from Nemesis to Assault form, to Annihilation form. You want to pop Annihilation here and run at the enemy. Because if you're the enemy soldier, right, because you play all the roles, so you know like the way this works. If you're the enemy soldier and I see Annihilation, if I see Rammatra running at me, what do? I helix him and I shoot him in the head because I don't want him to run at me and push me off the angle. But as he gets close enough, right, either I'm going to be like, oh, he's getting low, maybe I'll kill him, or run away. That's what's generally going to happen here, is the soldier's going to use his abilities, the Kiriko's going to try to shoot you in the head, right, the Moira is going to maybe try to fade off or whatever as you start pushing forward. Again, with Rammatra, I push up here with my Nemesis form. Okay, they get me to, let's say, do 300, 400 damage to me, right? Taking out my armor, right? Some of my health. Now I pop Annihilation. And now they're screwed. Because they thought I was going to die, but I'm for sure not going to die. And if there's any chance of me dying, I hold block and I quadruple my health right now. Because block reduces damage by 75%. So if I have even 100 health and I hold block, as long as no one's shooting me from behind, that makes my actual health 400. If I have 300 health, I hold block, I have 1200 health. That suddenly takes me from, oh man, the Rammatra's killable, to the Rammatra is 1000% not killable anymore. Even by like a Bastion, you can't die, like while you're holding block, right, for the most part. That is the way Rammatra is played here. So just advance right now with Nemesis form, then as you start taking damage and you're getting low, then pop Annihilation, if that's your plan here. Right? I don't even know that I need Annihilation. I'm pretty sure I can win this fight right now. With the Bastion already dead, I'm pretty sure I can win this fight with just Nemesis form. But you go straight to Annihilation, which is a big mistake, right? This is like Rammatra 101. You should almost never pop Annihilation. I would say maybe 1% of the time I pop Annihilation before popping Nemesis, right? And I would never pop it if I had Nemesis available. The only reason I pop Annihilation before Nemesis is if Nemesis is on cooldown, but I 100% need to survive right now. That's the only scenario where I would pop Annihilation over popping Nemesis first. Missing that punching into the D.Va soldier really killed you. Okay, so we're advancing right now. I'm healthy. I have 680 health. Just keep going forwards. Kill the soldier, kill the Kiriko, kill anybody right now, right? But you're advancing, you still have 580 health. You're still very healthy, right? Okay, D.Va Bomb goes off. You're going to decide to hold, like, for the record, I could just run to the opposite side of this if I wanted to, but fine. D.Va Bomb goes off. All right, it gets stuck here for a second, does a weird thing. Now it's going. Oh, okay, that was unexpected. I also would be so caught by surprise by that, by the way that it just kind of caught there and then it decided to go up. Fine, no problem. Just turn with the D.Va Bomb, right? As it goes by me, I know the D.Va Bomb is behind me, right? I walk to the wall, right, to reduce the angle so I can get shot. I turn and I look at the D.Va Bomb, and then D.Va Bomb does 1100 damage, I think, right now. So divided by 4, you're doing 225 damage. No problem, right? That's assuming it blows up at point blank next to me, and it has a lot of damage fall off. So just turn the D.Va Bomb. Why do you die to this? Like, you have so much time to realize what's going on here, right? D.Va throws bomb, right? Again, I agree this is surprising, right? The fact that it started moving was surprising, and I think it's totally fair to be caught by surprise at that. But you still have 2 more seconds before this blows up. Just turn around and look at the D.Va Bomb. The only thing I can think of is that you don't think that damage block that Rammatra Nemesis block would have saved you, but it 1000% would save you. You could literally walk up to the bomb, put your face into it, and hold block, and you still won't die. There's no way. Like, this is an easy survive right now. All right, I feel like we spent probably like 25-30 minutes on just the first fight, but like the overall like nature of this, it's gonna be the same thing, right? It's gonna be bad shields, it's gonna be bad vortexes, it's gonna be bad Nemesis. Right? Nemesis. So, yeah, just, they cap it, fine, whatever. Go on to the next point. So, again, why do we throw shield right now? Right? My Bastion's full health, their Bastion is half health, getting shredded by a pocketed Bastion. You're just throwing shield to throw shields. Your shield is a 13-second cooldown. Every single time there's any... If Mercy was shooting at you with her pistol, I feel like you would put shield up. Or Lucio. Right? You're like, oh man, I'm taking any damage, literally, like, anything more than 0 damage, I'm putting the shield up. You gotta stop doing this, right? You have to recognize, is this damage actually dangerous? If not, don't shield. Right? I'll even let like a soldier shoot me, for example, without putting shield if I don't have to. Right? If I'm being double pocketed by my supports as we're walking up and rotating, and the soldier's shooting at me, I'm not gonna throw shield for that. I have more than enough healing for my soldier. Like, for example, if I have like my Ana Zen healing me, well, Ana heals for 90 health a second, Zen heals for 30 health a second, that's 120 health, soldier does 172-ish, so I'm taking 60 damage a second. Sure, whatever, I'll eat it. Or 80 damage a second. Or, no, yeah, 60 damage a second. 50-ish. Right? Whatever, fine. I'll just eat it. Right? I'll just eat it while I'm rotating. And eventually the soldier's gonna run out of ammo, I get healed back up, and we keep going to the next phase of the fight. I'm not wasting a 13-second cooldown just to stop 50 damage a second. It's not worth it. Alright. So you push in right now. Moira's faded. So D.Va's gone in. What can I do about this? Nothing. There's a full health D.Va here who is functionally 1,000 health who's going after your Bastion. Okay? If I Vortex, I could have Vortexed her ahead of time. But it's too late for that. The D.Va is already on top of my Bastion, so even if I had shield here, the shield's not. I can't get an angle to actually protect the Bastion. Plus, the D.Va would just walk through it anyway. Ignore the D.Va. Just go after the backline right now. There's nothing you can do about this. Forget it. Right? That's right. Either the Bastion lives or dies, but it's really not your responsibility. Granted, D.Va makes a mistake here, so she ends up getting demeched. Now, you might feel good about this, but I'm telling you, the D.Va makes a mistake right now that will not happen at higher ranks. The D.Va hears your Bastion ulti, and he decides to walk into what is effectively a 4v1 in this situation. This is a bad play by the D.Va, right? And yeah, sometimes the D.Va will make mistakes, and maybe it's the right call to actually go after it. For the record, I would have stayed staff form, because again, you do more damage in staff form, and then pop Nemesis to chase her down. But most of the time, the D.Va will know what she's doing, and this will not happen. What is the shield for? I don't even need to analyze that, right? Like, the A, it's going to be Baby D.Va. B, the Baby D.Va is on the wrong side of the shield. So, the shield gives you nothing. Vortex, I think, there is fine if you want to make sure the Baby D.Va dies. Okay, so you're going to cap right now. So, you're playing up here, playing a choke, that's fine. Right, poke, that's fine. So, Bastion ulti gets popped, backing up is fine. So, reminder about the way Bastion ulti works is there are going to be rockets that are going to come out of the air, and they're going to slam in the middle of the whatever the circle is. So if you want to reduce damage to them and you can't get out of the range, right, just turn towards them and hold block. And they do almost no damage. I think they do like 200 damage each, something like that. It's like not a problem. All right, D.Va bomb gets popped. I don't really feel like you need. I feel like you could just run this way and not taking any damage, but that's fine. D.Va bomb kills 2. Unlucky. There's nothing you can really do about that. Other than one thing to note here is you could have kept playing this choke, right? You 1,000% could have continued playing this choke harder. So. Look at this, right? I have Vortex, I have Shield. Just push up to the choke. Why am I throwing the Vortex? Do I know what's going on over there? Am I going to be able to get a pick? Is it going to be able to stop the opposing team from pushing it? No! This Vortex is going to do nothing. Right? Nobody here could, like, yeah, it slowed the soldier, but nobody had the ability to see the soldier and get the pick there. So that Vortex is useless. Then I throw Shield. What's the Shield for? Again, no one's even trying to shoot at us. We got to stop doing this. So if I were you, I would be here with Shield and Vortex available. So I'm playing right here. Okay, this is fine, right? I'm waiting. Right now, I don't pop Nemesis, okay? I sit here, and I put down the shield, and I start shooting. And I see what the Bastion does. If it just tries to triple shoot me, I can just walk over here. I can pop Nemesis to get out. I can pop Nemesis and hold and block towards it. I'm in no danger right now. The Bastion, even all 3 are targeting me, there's no way I die here, right? So I use shield here, and I put it down between me and the D.Va, and I shoot the D.Va. And then she's forced to Matrix, and she does nothing. Nobody in the backline do anything because of the shield. Great. And we shoot it out. Matrix is over. I reload. I keep shooting the D.Va. I throw Vortex over here to prevent backline from going in, and I burn down the D.Va. Right? I never have to give up this spot. And if you never give up the spot, it's less likely she gets a good angle for a D.Va bomb. Right? But this is a good example of just like over and over again, you're not holding space that you 1,000% should be holding. Now that I've lost 2, right? Okay, Mercy got the Mercy gets the res. Now I play backside of point. All right? I poke them down. And I give up space, because the odds of us winning the fight are very low at this moment in time. Which is okay, right? Sometimes that happens. People get picked. It happens. My goal here is I want to maximize percentage on the point. Ideally, I want to get it all the way up to something like 85%, and then we only need to win one fight after that. So I just want to survive here as long as I can. Taking an early fight reduces the chances of me surviving, right? Another example where you just throw Vortex and you have no idea what the heck is going on, right? You don't know what's around the corner. Like, you hear maybe the Bastion, but like, why am I throwing the Vortex this early, right? Okay, right here. Just shield between the two of you, and the Bastion dies. But you shield behind him. Like, I hope this is illustrating how low value you get out of your abilities, right? Which means, if you can use your abilities well, you'll rocket up, like, the ranks, because, like, at this point in time, your Vortexes and shields are giving you, like, on a 0 to 100 scale, I don't know, like 30, 40 out of 100? It's extremely low. I wouldn't worry about the D.Va. What I actually want to do is I want to kill the backline now, because now I know Bastion Assault Form is going to end. So, reminder for Bastion Assault Form. The way I teach it is 6 up, 10 down. So, Bastion's in Assault Form for 6 seconds, and then he is out of Assault Form for 12 seconds. 10 is easier to remember, and it gives you 2 seconds of leeway to, like, find cover, right? So, I see the Bastion right now. I see him at this moment. Okay, so starting from right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Assault Form should be ending just about now, right? Counts a little fast, right? So we still got another second. Great, but now I'm pushing back in to whatever's going on over here. But again, you wasted all your abilities, so you can't really push anywhere, right? But I think this is a good example when you should not push into them, right? Because the D.Va's here. To be fair, you can't see the D.Va. She like flew over your head. But like right now, once I feel the D.Va, I need to turn and deal with the D.Va, right? This is an example where like, oh, I'm running past the opposing Brawl tank. I can't be doing this. I take way too much damage doing this. But I really do not want to give him the point right now if I can. Yeah, see, everything's gonna go haywire from here. So this is a good example of why I want to play behind on the backside of the point, because they're able to walk into your team and apply a ton of pressure, and everything goes awry. And they're able to cap it now because you're not on the point. I want to die here after having all resources poured into me to stay alive. I want to die on the point to get as much time as possible. And then I want the rest of my team to die like instantly. But because you're slow to get on, you get scared, right? You're pushed out by a D.Va. All of this time right now is bad because you have no win condition, right? It's a 5-on-3 right now. There's no way to win, but they're getting time on the clock. I want us to die on our time, not their time. Because that's good, right? The point keeps capping up, like ticking up. But right now, this is good for them, right? They can take all day to kill us here in this situation, and it's excellent for them because, again, the point keeps ticking. That's, by the way, like basic like point control logic, right? That same thing applies on payload maps. Same thing applies on control, right? King of the Hill. Same thing applies on push. Same thing applies on flashpoints. All the same idea, right? Die on your time, not their time. Or depending on how you define your time, but die when you have control, not when you don't have control. Or rather, sorry, stall when you have control, not when you don't have control. Another example of like, do you need to shield right now? Right? You have 475 health, you're being pocketed by the supports. If I'm shielding up here. So general rule for shields. If I walk through it or the enemy team walks through it, the shield is bad. If I walk through it, the shield is too close. If the enemy team walks through it, the shield is too far. So I'm looking for a shield out here, right? That way I can run up to it and use that to take the next corner. But you put the shield over here, what is your plan, right? Like, this isn't going to do anything. Also, as a side note, you basically never look back at your team. You'll notice that how infrequently you see your teammates on your screen because you're not looking back and checking their positioning. Your Symmetra is not here yet, right? And your Tracer isn't here yet. Your Tracer's here, right? But his Symmetra's not here yet, so you're going too fast. Slow down a little bit and let your Symmetra get up to you. This is a terrible Vortex, right? Because it's way too far, right? Like, even if this does catch the Bastion, right? The Bastion can simply walk to the right and he'd be safe. I would save the Vortex for a better opportunity. Alright, Coalescence is good. Now we push. Why are we using Nemesis? Like, what do we see right now that tells us pop Nemesis? The D.Va's flying away from us, so it's not like I'm going to use Nemesis on her. Okay? The other enemies are too far away, so why don't I just walk up with the Coalescence, attacking with the staff, get up close, then pop Nemesis? That's the idea. Like, look at this. Like, So you pop Nemesis to chase, You get up to the support, you punch her once, and then you cancel Nemesis. This is like the best possible situation to be a Nemesis form. Like, I don't get it. I truly do not understand what the thought process here as to why you would cancel Nemesis. It has to be a mistake. It has to be like you accidentally like press shift again or something like that. Because I do not understand why you would cancel Nemesis right now. Alright, we got a pick. Pretty sure that we can actually win this without Annihilation. So, yeah, Vortex. Yeah, I think that's a good Vortex, right? You caught him, he gets out of position. Great, excellent. Do not pop Annihilation here. Yeah, I think you're trying to hold it, which is great. Yeah, kill the Bastion. Excellent. Right? You recognize, hey, look, I don't need to block there. I think it's good. Yeah, just keep pushing in. It's fine. Right? I think it's an easy cleanup. So, good job not using Annihilation here. I don't think you need to shield that off. It's a bad Vortex again, right? Like, even if it didn't get eaten by Matrix, it's not going to do anything. Hold the choke, right? Just keep holding the choke. Be like, hey, look, where's my team? I want to preferably play on the same side as my Moira to make sure my Moira can keep me alive. So if she plays on left, I play left, but she's rotating right now. Don't let them get in for free, right? If you let them get in, they're going to spread out and they're going to be a huge pain. So hold the choke here. That's fine. Yeah, this is good. No problem. Bastion ult is not a problem for tanks. Like, tanks don't fear Bastion ulti at all. Don't even worry about it. So you shield off, but did I need to shield off right there? Like, I'm already getting around the corner. See? Like, right now, I'm already safe. Just walk to the left. I don't need shield. Again, hold abilities until they're actually needed. So, the shield's useless. The Vortex is useless. Right? Now they start pushing in. Okay? So now's a time where I'm like, look, okay, they're going to try walking in. I'm waiting, right? Right now, Bastion pops Assault Form. I pop Shield. So, Rammatra is actually a pretty good counter against Bastion because of the way your shield timing lines up with his Assault Form timing. Every Assault Form, shield him off. Is he going to break it? He is. But it's going to take him 3 seconds to break it, which means, and the first 2 seconds of Bastion Assault Form are usually where he gets kills. After that, everybody scatters, right? If I shield right away, he never kills anybody, and I waste half of his Assault Form. Excellent value, right? Because Bastion gets no other value other than Assault Form. So shield every single Assault Form, right? And then you can Vortex him too if you need to, and then you're in great shape. But instead, right, I've blown through all of my abilities, right, completely uselessly, and now I pop Nemesis Form. But why am I popping Nemesis Form? I heard Assault Form happen right here, right? I know the Bastion's going to push in with this, right? The Bastion has to have Assault Form, right? Golden rule of Overwatch, if you have not seen them use an ability, assume they have it. So Bastion has Assault Form right now. He's going to be pushing Assault Form. They have to, right? 91, 99, they're just going to be pushing in. So I'm just going to sit here, right, and just wait with Staff, right? Because he pops Assault Form, like, great, I just hide around the corner. No problem. But now I pop Nemesis, now I'm like, oh, shoot, now I have to hide. Right? The good news is no one's actually going to touch the point, so you're going to get this free cap. So from here, this is pretty silly. It's good staff aim there. Right? Soldier dies. There's some cleanup. You're going to rotate. All right, next point. We're trying to go a little bit faster here. Again, do you need to be popping shield right now? Like, what is the situation? It's a one-on-one with you. How did you even end up here? What the heck? Yeah, I don't think you're taking the best. I would just follow the team here. I don't know why we're vortexing. Like, she's definitely going to fly away. This all is just wasted cooldowns. Alright, whatever. Anyway, yeah, push across, right? So, I saw the Moira pop Fade and land over there. So, one of your options is to just chase down the Moira and kill her right now. Right? Diva's in your backline, but who cares? Like, it's not that big a deal, right? Alright, fine. The Kira goes on a Swift Step. Okay, excellent. You killed her with Staff. I think that's a good call. So, just Vortex behind them and run down and kill him. Right? This shield does nothing. Right? You Vortex him. It's a good Vortex. Right? Dies. Well, good thing that you actually shielded that. Honestly, funny thing here, what I would have done is I would have gone up towards the bomb. So, right now, I already have Nemesis Form. Like, I want to kill the baby diva, so I would run, jump, right? Then hold block, and then jump up and keep going. Because, like, no matter what, this fight's already won, right? We already killed multiple heroes. I just want to kill the baby diva. Yeah, but her rematch kills the Tracer. I would go up here, right? I would 100% go up here. Because you have huge numbers advantage right now. I think it's like 4 on 2, 4 on 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 on 2. You should go up right now to get the kills. Right? But that's a good example. Like, I'm tracking all that going on. Like, how many people are alive? How many people are alive? How many people are alive? I know we're up. I want to be aggressive here. You're playing passive. You're like, oh man, I don't know. Like, let them have high ground because I'm scared. I don't know if I can push up there. You 100% can push up there. There's nothing they can do to stop you. Fun tip, by the way, you can throw Vortex against the ceiling to get it to come back down. Takes a while to land, though. Alright. So, why are we popping Nemesis here? Right? I even have shield coming up here. So Nemesis, I can't use shield. So I still have shield available, I have vortex available, I have a full staff ammo. Why am I popping Nemesis? It's like really, really tough. So you're trying to kill the Reaper, right? Number one is I know the Reaper's not going to die here because I know he has Wraith Form. How do I know he's Wraith Form? Because I haven't seen or heard him use Wraith Form. So I assume there's no scenario where I'm going to kill him. So I'm going to save the abilities here. I just want to force him back, then save Vortex, Shield, etc. for after he comes back in later. Right? He goes out. Obviously, Vortex is wasted because you should have known he had Wraith Form. If he doesn't have Wraith Form, he's dead anyway, right? Because the Tracer would kill him. So, or you would kill him. So you don't need Vortex there. It's not going to change anything about the fight. All right, try to punch him there. So, for the shield. All right, now's the time to shield. Do I want to put the shield this far away? No, because the Reaper's going to walk through it. I want to put the shield here, right, at this corner, and then the Reaper's going to be very scared to walk through that. But you see, now the Reaper plays pretty far up. Right? This is a scenario, once I saw the D.Va come in, now I pop Nemesis, right? Because now I can see they're clustering because they're going to try to follow the tank in, and now I want to be punching the D.Va and getting the Moira and the back, right? Now I want to be shifting this way, getting multiple hits, doing devastating damage, and they're not going to be able to get through the choke. But you give up the choke in the situation. Honestly, they could be way more aggressive against you right now than they are. Again, reminder, pop Nemesis first before Annihilation. I'm not going to microanalyze this one, but it would make a huge difference in the way this plays out. But regardless, they're like struggling to get through this choke, so you're going to win this fight anyway, and I think the point. Alright, you have Nemesis again. Punch, punch, punch. Alright, that's fine. I mean, like, you have plenty of health, you got healing, yeah, go ahead. Kill him again. I don't know why you give this up. You have full health right now, and you're being, I think, double pocketed at the moment in time, so just keep shooting. Just attack the Reaper right now. Obviously fired way too much staff there at a Reaper was invincible. What is this shield? Like, you have Symmetra Wall here too! Like, literally, the D.Va can't hurt you even if she wanted to. It's brutal. Alright, so they're not going to be able to cap this. So obviously things are looking pretty good, right? How do we lose a 2-1 game? Well, it's going to happen. But it's the culmination of the mistakes that you've been making so far finally start coming back to, like, bite you. Alright, so right here. Again, shield way too far. They're clearly pushing in, right? The Reaper, look at from the Reaper's perspective, right? You play DPS. I don't know if you play Reaper, right? If I see this, do I think, shield goes up, I feel in danger? No, I have 300 health. I have 300 health. There's a Sim and a Bastion, or sorry, a Rammatra here and a Mercy, and I'm coming in with my D.Va and my team. I'm walking through the shield. Like, there's no way that you are going to stop me from walking through the shield right now. Which is exactly what happens. Which means the shield gives you no value. And now you're getting shredded. As a reminder, Reaper does like 216 damage per second. You have to track the Reaper, right? Reaper can obliterate tanks when they're not paying attention. I think it's a good Vortex, right? Pins him back. It's good. Quick reminder for punch, 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 right? Expose yourself as little as possible to take as little damage as possible. Think of punches as like a shotgun, right? You don't mix that analogy. So, let's think for a second. So, stuff's going on to the right, but D.Va and Reaper are to the left. Is it my job to deal with the stuff on the right, or is it my job to deal with the stuff on the left? It's your job to deal with the stuff on the left, okay? Nothing out here, like, the Moira's not going to get a pick with a long-range leash, okay? This turret's not going to kill somebody. Tor, maybe he'll, like, double-tap somebody in the head or something like that. But, like, that's not your job. Your job is to keep the D.Va and the Reaper back. But you over-index, right? You're now tunnel-visioned on the right flank. That's going to allow these two to get in on you, right? Now they get up way closer than they should have, because you could have sat here with combination of staff, shield, vortex, nemesis form, and prevented the Reaper from freely getting in. Now the Reaper's in, and now he pops ultimate. Now your shield, luckily, I think, was not ideal. Right? I think it really should have been super close to you, but it's going to end up saving your sim a little bit longer, but she still ends up dying. Right? And this is bad. So from here, like, things are going really poorly for you. You're getting damage from multiple angles. And then, you know, you're pretty good aim here, right? Kill the Kiriko. You pop Annihilation. I don't think I would pop Annihilation because I don't think I'm going to win the fight. Right? Let's track from the beginning. So, 5-on-5 right now, okay? We know it's 5-on-5. Fighting, 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 fighting. Bam. Okay, so we've lost 2. Okay, so now it's a 4 and 4, so it's pretty tricky, but I'm getting low, and I understand that I'm in a bad position because the Reaper's close to me, and the Diva's close to me, and I've already used Nemesis form to try to stay alive. Things are not looking good for me, per se. Right? I lose another. This is now a 3 on 4. Odds of winning, about 25%. We have to trade out right away to have any chance. Are we trading out? We are not. So, now we traded out. Okay, great. So now it's 3 on 3, so maybe winnable. Again, but the problem is the Reaper is a huge issue, and like I can't kill the Reaper, so somebody else needs to be alive to kill the Reaper. Right? I go after the Diva. Diva bomb gets popped. So what I would have done right now is just run against this corner and just hold block, turn towards Reaper, and then turn towards the bomb when it pops. Right? Most important thing right now is to survive and stall. Right? No matter what, win or lose, stall right now. But you drop off point, Reaper follows you, and then you're going to die to the Diva bomb because the Diva bomb is going to have an angle to be able to hit you down here. I think all in all, I think you just don't realize how much damage reduction block gives you. Like, block makes you functionally immune to almost all abilities in the game that, like, almost all damage sources in the game, right? Obviously, you can still get CC'd out of it. So, just recognizing, like, look, Reaper's a lot of damage, hold block, stay alive, turn towards bomb, turn towards Reaper again, and just stall it out, right? As soon as Nemesis form ends, put up shield and bubble dance. You can survive a long time that way. But dying here is not good. There's no reason for you to die there. That vortex is useless. So, quick note here, right? Which direction do I want to push? This side has uneven terrain, and it's not a great engagement angle in here, right? I can't do a whole lot from the situation. This angle, flat terrain, which is great for me since I use staff, right? And it allows my whole team to get in. If I go this way, I can't necessarily help my team actually take the spot. So look, you decide to split off from your team, but your sim needs you. Your sim needs a brawl tank to play in front of her. That's something you should know from playing Overwatch and understanding the way sim works. Sim needs a tank to stand in front of her, and if that tank stands in front of her, she becomes crazy dangerous because of the way her charge-up beam works. So you going this way means, hey, look, they're going to lock off your 2 teammates, and now you're shooting staff from here, which is useless. Then you vortex, which is useless. Then you shield, which is almost useless. And now you walk through the shield right away. What was the point of the shield? And now you pop Nemesis early, which means that your Nemesis is going to end. And remember your 2 teammates that used to be over here. Well, they get forced out because the Reaper forced them out. But if you were with them, you 3, you 4 would have pushed the Reaper out and then gotten a chance to contest. But from this angle, you're now fighting alone because of the path that you chose to split up from your team. Rammatra is not an off-angler, right? Don't be like, oh, I'm going to go on this crazy flank and do something. You're not going to do anything on a flank. They're going to kite you or they're going to ignore you, right? You can't do anything without your team, and now you're helpless, right? You're super low. So your Nemesis is going to end, right? You've already lost your Moira because, again, it's a bad angle, right? So she gets stuck, Diva's able to fly in because the Moira's trying to help you, see? She fades in over here because she's like, what the heck is going on? See? She's like, over here, she's like, oh god, the Rammatra's low, I gotta get to the Rammatra, and she can't go main because the Reaper's there. So she uses Fade to come in, the Diva's like, oh shoot, you use Fade, now I kill you. Right? That's the awareness you need. Like, oh, she used defense ability, kill her. Right? Right away she dies. And now you're in massive trouble because you have no main healer now. Mercy's trying to keep you alive, which is not going to work. Now the Mercy's going to die. And yeah, you have health, but you have no win scenario. No one's going to die here. Right? Everything about this is misplayed. Just don't overthink things. Just go main. It's okay. Right? It's one thing if their team was way better than you at fighting straight up, right? For example, if there's like an Orisa and a Reaper and a Junkrat, yeah, you're not going to walk through this. Like, you're going to get obliterated. But against Diva's not that good at brawling, right? She can only brawl for about a second and a half, and then she's going to need to leave. Right? She can DM after that to stay alive, but she's not going to apply any more damage pressure. Reaper is dangerous, but Reaper alone is not nearly enough danger for you to worry about it. You can take this room against Reaper, Diva, and you need to look at the matchups and know, hey, can I take that room? If not, don't do it. Like Mei is another example, right? Again, if it's like Orisa, Mei, or like Rammatra Mei, you can't take this room because she can wall off behind you, you're going to die. But against this lineup, for sure you can take that room. All the pathing here is like your biggest issue. Alright, so you don't really get a real contest. Like two supports are dead right away. So yeah, like this is all not gonna work. Alright, so we're going for final. Why are we going backwards? I mean, I guess you're going towards the point right now, but if I see, like, look, my Mercy's still over here, like in the Tracer, I would try to follow them because I don't think you're actually in any danger there, but that's fine. So, let's think about this for a second. I know where the enemy is, generally speaking, right? Because I just saw the enemy over there. Well, what are the possible routes that they're going to take? Option number 1 is they go this way. Option number 2 is they go this way. Option number 3 is they go this way. We can safely say that this is not going to be a scenario that they're going to take, not the body of the team, right? Because this is our spot, like this is our space. It's not going to work well for them to take that. So it's probably going to be either option 1 or option 2. So I can just sit here, right? I can just sit here and figure out which way they go and deflect whichever way they're going to go. That's fundamentally my job, right? Is to control angles and prevent them from going where they want to go. I don't need to walk on point. My Moira's already on there, right? Or, yeah, my Moira's on there. She's going to cap. It's fine. I don't need to drop. Just play high ground here, right? And be super annoying. As a reminder, Rammatra has an amazing set of tools that allow him to hold a spot for a really long time. Hold the spot. Holding spots means they can't get any space. They don't have any angles. Remember when you blocked them like a ton earlier in the game? Right? Where you're like, okay, they're clearly never going to get through this choke. I'm trying to think of which one it was. Right? But like, this is a good example where like, if they can't get through the choke, they're never going to get a chance to actually do anything. Oh no, it's the next point, I think. Yeah. It's this point where they're trying to get through that upper doorway right here. Right? The reason you win here is not because you're mechanically better. It's not because you're more skilled. It's not because you're more knowledgeable. It's because they're trying to take 5 people and run them through a tiny little doorway while you're punching them. That's why you win, right? If you can turn every game into this, you will win every game, even against GM plus players, because 5 people cannot walk through a doorway against Rammatra unless they have like sound barrier or something like that. That's what we're looking for, is you want to jam them up in small spaces to prevent them from going after you. But when you drop here, what ends up happening? Well, they're going to go in, and they're going to take all of the space. They're going to sit high ground, and they're going to take this angle, 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 and then you guys are the ones that are in the fishbowl getting shot at from 4 different directions. So watch. Okay, look, you're doing nothing right now, right? You're just staffing thin air. Moira has rotated over, and now she's taking an angle, right? She comes over, and now she's fighting your Moira, who can't win this anymore because she's started late, so she's taking a ton of damage, right? So your Moira's low, and your Moira's getting pushed back, and you see the space they create. D.Va comes over here to assist. Reaper is now taking this space, right? And yeah, you guys technically have the point, but you're getting pushed further and further back. You don't look like the team that's going to win here, necessarily. Tracer's over here. Cassidy comes in from the side, and now, right? You have multiple different angles to do, and you can't do anything right now. Really, you need to be stopping anything, like literally any value here. Tracer's left out on island, rewind gets forced, and then she's gonna almost die here, right? Again, look, they're pushing out, and they're continuing to take angles, because right now, what do they have? They have this high ground angle, they have this angle, and they have this angle, all of which are making it really hard for your team to do anything. You're not taking any space right now. See, you're just punching thin air, right? D.Va's up here shooting from above. Kiriko comes over here. Okay, Tracer gets a pick on the Moira. Great, excellent, right? Moira dies over here. High Noon goes off. Reaper gets the ulti down below, kills the Mercy. High Noon goes off. Now you're continually forced in multiple angles, right? And then you're going to die to this because Reaper breaks the shield, and then High Noon kills you. Oh, I think Reaper High Noon, I think it hits the Bastion maybe? No, I think it's just I think Reaper destroys the shield, right? And then you die. And despite all that, right? Are we going to be able to win? Yeah, we're still going to be able to win. But this is a recipe for losing, right? Basically, your DPS carried like crazy here because your Tracer kills the Moira right off the bat, right? I think Tracer kills 3 here, 3 or 4, right? She kills the Moira there. Then she goes over and one clips the Kiriko, right? 2, right? Then from here, she's chilling. I think that she's going to go and kill the Cassidy right now. Yeah, one clips the Cassidy, right? And then finishes off the Reaper here. So if you're expecting your DPS to kill 3, one of the DPS to kill 3 every single fight, that is not a recipe for winning. And you could have prevented this by just stuffing the doorway and preventing them from getting by you. Because often enemy teams do not have the patience to go a different door or spread out. You know, just like your team gets jammed up sometimes that way too. So you need to get across the area as soon as possible. I don't think the shield does anything. Your Tracer's not in any danger, so I wouldn't worry about it. Right? You Vortex, but you don't actually know what's over there. I think the Vortex is still like okay, like I understand the spirit of it, but it's not actually something that I know is going to provide me value. Right? So, again, why do I pop Nemesis form? Staff does more damage than Nemesis form to tanks. Just use Staff. There's no reason to pop Nemesis form right now. So, D.Va's going up here, fine. But, like, I can't do anything to stop the D.Va. Like, if this D.Va's going to kill the Bastion, she's she's going to kill the Bastion. I can't stop this. Just go and kill the Moira here, right? Go kill the Moira. Go kill the Kiriko. Then go kill the Cassidy. That's what you need to be doing, not attacking the D.Va. Now, what happens to the backline? Moira gets popped this. You're still trying to kill the D.Va. For the record, Moira Coalescence heals for what? Like 150, 160 health a second? You literally are doing 0 damage to the D.Va, right? As soon as the Moira starts healing the D.Va again, like all your damage is canceled. You pop Annihilation here, which is not ideal. I would note, once again, you're the fishbowl. Other than your Tracer, who's honestly looks like easily the best player of your team, you guys are the fishbowl, right? They're attacking, right? This guy is attacking this way, right? But he's low because of the Tracer. Your team is constantly the one that's on the inside of the fishbowl getting shot at from people on the outside. Your job is to prevent the fishbowl from happening, right? You pop a Light Annihilation right now. It's not going to do a whole lot, right? Because the Reaper is going to end up killing you in the situation. So as a reminder, when I hear Reaper shooting, I cannot ignore him. Reaper does 216 damage a second. He's going to kill me in like 2-3 seconds. I have to just turn towards him and hold block. That's the only thing I can do right now. But frankly, you have no win condition here, right? Tracer's over here. Moira's over here, right? We're just trying to heal you. I think you just need to stall here and try to stay alive. I think trying to trade out for the Kiriko is not good enough value. But Tracer kills another. Your poor Tracer, like, carries like crazy. Right? But gonna get chased down, gonna get killed. Tracer's still nearly killing the Moira. Oh, wow. This Tracer's nuts. Actually crazy. Tracer's carrying like super hard. Alright, so we're running up. Just take top left, right? Take top left. Just be methodical. You only need to win one fight to win the game. This is a good reason why I would have saved Annihilation, right? Unless I was sure Annihilation was going to win that fight, I'd rather have Annihilation for this fight to confirm I'm going to win. I have at least 2 more fights at the point of time that we were fighting that one. So I want to make sure that whatever it is going to be a winner. I don't shield here. This shield does nothing. This shield does literally nothing. This Nemesis does nothing. Over and over and over again. Same patterns, right? Which makes sense. Obviously, you didn't get this feedback. But like, same patterns repeatedly. This Vortex does nothing. And now you're walked down. And remember, you canceled Nemesis early, and now you're stuck in a situation where you're getting shot at from 3 different angles, and now you die. This is throwing. This is like 100% throwing. You're just going way too fast, right? Trying to do things that don't matter. You're wasting all of your abilities. You wasted Nemesis form, you wasted shield, you wasted Vortex. You can't win fights if you just throw your abilities away. You know? And like, the focus, like what you're trying to do, is also problematic because again, there's nothing you can really do against a D.Va here. Right? Just try to control one area at a time, right? And then push through. Okay, Reaper's here. I actually would have chased the Reaper because I know he's low. You saw that he's low. Like, this Reaper is at less than half health. I would chase this because like otherwise he's a problem on your backline. See? Now he gets over here. Reaper gets in, right? Gets your Bastion super low. Kills the Bastion, right? Kills the Moira. Like, that would have been a way better use of your time, is chasing down the Reaper who's out of position, force Wraith or whatever, then resume trying to take the fight. Okay. You are not going to get into the fight. Yeah, you've run out of time. Okay. So, in summary, I think 2 things, right? Number 1, get value out of every ability usage, right? Every Vortex, every shield, every Nemesis form. Stop canceling Nemesis form early, or don't put yourself in positions where it's like useless and you need to cancel it early, right? Get value out of every single ability. Number 2 is you need to be more aggressive when you have health and cooldowns, right? And it's funny because at the end of the game, you're actually being too aggressive, right? You're pushing without your team, without health, without cooldowns, because I can feel like you're pressing. You're like, oh god, nothing's really working, and now you try doing something radically different, but you don't need to do anything. Just play with your team, right? Run fights north-south, okay? When I say north-south, what I mean is, look, keep the fight in front of you, okay? You're the tank, you got some people behind you, right? This is their tank, they have some of their teammates here. Run it north-south, like this. Try not to get into wacky scenarios where, like, you're playing over here trying to run at their team, because you're not an AF angler. You're not a DPS. You're not going to get any value out of this. What's going to happen here is that they're going to swing away from you and then 5v4, right, your team and kill them all, right? And meanwhile, you're going to be kited and just like punching thin air as they obliterate your team. Because they're going to naturally run away from you as you're pushing in, and you've no ability to get onto them quickly. Like, it's going to go poorly, right? So try to keep fights north-south. Ramatra's good in those situations, similar to Sigma, right? Try to just keep it simple, straightforward. Once you pop Nemesis form, you're more flexible. Then you can chase people down. But generally speaking, in the staff poke phase, just keep it north-south, right? Same thing for playing against D.Va. You ask, like, oh, like, what do I do against D.Va? Blah, 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 blah. Keep it north-south, right? Keep the D.Va in front of you, keep her team behind her, and just constantly keep spamming her or her team down, and you will win. Right? At some point in time, she has to commit on you. If she makes a mistake, demech her. If she doesn't make a mistake, go past her and go after the rest of her team. All right. I'm going to hold there. Hopefully it's helpful.